What's up, everybody? What's going on? Shauna D, your Techno Dad here, back with Jim from Harman. We're going to talk about the new JBL, the new JBL Classic Series in the retro room. This stuff looks really cool. Jim, please tell us more about it.
Yeah, well, what's old is new again. So a few years ago, we introduced the L100 Classic, which is a modern interpretation of probably our most famous, most iconic loudspeaker, the original L100. It's offered all throughout the 1970s. And what we see now, of course, retro's hot. Everybody likes that vintage aesthetic, but they like the modern performance that was in it. So while we've had very good success with the loudspeakers, we expanded to the smaller L82 and L52s. What we wanted to do now was expand that into electronics. And what we've introduced at the show is a complete range of Classic Series electronics that are based on the design that we had on some JBL components from the 1960s.
Right.
So you get a very vintage aesthetic, but then we've put all our modern technologies into it. So all the connectivity and features that you would have of a modern system, you get wrapped up in this really cool looking retro design.
Right, and it started out with the 750, the 75th anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly where it started. The SA750, as part of the 75th anniversary, was that first indication, hey, we might be onto something here. So now to have that complete range of products with the amp and the source players gives you the ability to complete a system around those loudspeakers and have a really cool looking system that isn't just an innocuous black box like most things tend to be now.
No, definitely. They look really sexy. So we've got an integrated amplifier, we've got a CD player, a streamer, and my favorite, the turntable.
Yes. So the components themselves, we really tried to right-size those more for the L82 and L52, which are much more affordable loudspeakers than the L100 in comparison. Yeah. And the SA750 is really priced more to go with the L100s anyways. So the SA550 integrated is a $2,000 retail, and on our digital source players, the CD player is going to be $700 and the streamer will be $800. The turntable is positioned at $1,000.
Tell us about the turntable, please.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do, of course, was appeal to all the vinyl lovers that are out there. We're seeing that resurgence again, and a growth in vinyl sales has been going on year after year after year. And just seeing some of the end of the year reports from 2022. There's still such enthusiasm for it. So what we created was something that would have that appeal of the 1970s era turntables in its aesthetic, but still be a very modern and very capable player. And that's what you saw in there with the design of that natural walnut base on it, and the aluminum front, the 1960s JBL logo on it, and then of course a period correct smoked dust cover.
Yeah.
And as far as availability goes on those, with the turntable's really going to be third quarter this year, but the other products will be available here in the summer.
Gotcha. The other thing you had looked like a really big center channel, a vintage-looking center channel, but it isn't. It isn't. Tell us about this.
That's a product called the L75 MS being for a music system. And we introduced that last year as something that is a complete all-in-one integrated system that you don't need any other electronics. It's a single-piece unit. And it's got the same cool styling that the rest of the Classic Series has. And that curved shape that you saw on it does kind of look like a center channel, is actually based on what some of the JBL engineers did in the 1960s when you had the big console speaker systems.
Yeah.
And they called that built-in acoustics by putting a big curve on the front of the speaker so that you got a really wide soundstage, even though your transducers are not so far apart. So we use that in the L75 to just create a really cool all-in-one system.
Right, and then you have a little subwoofer to pair with that, or is that
we do, yeah. So that's new for the Classic Series this year. We just introduced it at the show this week, and that is the L10 CS. And now that we've got the smaller bookshelf, the L52, we've got the L75 all-in-one music system. That's got HDMI connectivity on it. We're seeing people use it with a video display,
a TV,
and watching
TV
and movies.
Whatever.
Yep. So it's got a sub out already. You compare the L10 CS to it as like a 2.1 setup for your video system, or pair it up with the L52s as a bookshelf speaker. It's just a great. It's a
10-inch.
It's a 10-inch
downward firing ported. Yep.
500 watt. It's a beautiful walnut wood veneer cabinet.
If you lift it up, it's got a white woofer cone just to match all the other speakers, right?
It does, yes. Even though it's down firing, we did put a white cone woofer.
You're not going to see this, but hey,
but it's cool.
It's there.
Exactly.
And I think the other cool part is you guys have something special you're doing for a year or so. Is that it's called the Black Package, or what is it called?
The Black Edition.
The Black Edition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is something that we announced last fall, and it's going into production now. And I think the classics are super cool. But it is definitely a kind of a mid-century aesthetic. And if that's not your house, you're maybe like, yeah, walnut and an orange grill is not going to fit my decor, but I love the sound. And so we said, well, you know what we can do is let's dress these up with a very sophisticated look. So what the Black Edition does is offer a very high gloss black painted finish, so like a piano back black look to it. And we offer them exclusively with the black grills, but they have unique gold badges and logos on the front of them, the passive loudspeakers, gold badges around the attenuators and on the back. So we call that the Black Edition appearance package. And then the two larger models, the L82 and L100, have our performance package. So they've got improvements to the drivers and by-wire networks. So you get a little more performance out of them too.
Now I'm gonna say this right now, okay, for everybody watching and for you guys here. You're going to want to continue making the black. 100%. My viewers know I do not like glossy black speakers.
Yeah.
I hate them. But those, woo, I love those things.
We're going to change your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of cool stuff for the, retro enthusiast here from JBL. All right, we'll be back with one more product from Harman in just a few. Peace.
Should we dance?
This will be.
That'll be a new segment.
That'll be the bloopers or the outtakes, right?